Hi, Julian back. Okay, I will explain now what is the rule for how is the gameplay and the rules to play cards on your tableau. You can play a card to any of the two rows of your tableau to the leftmost empty space. So at the beginning of the game, the choices are to play a card in the top row or in the bottom row to the leftmost empty space. During the course of the game, you will be playing cards in both rows. Always have to be to the leftmost empty space of the row. Situation can be given that this can happen through certain benefits. So if you want to take actions in zone B or in zone C, you have to play the card to this empty space because it's the leftmost empty space. When you get to the consolidation phase and you will retrieve one card, you have to retrieve the rightmost card of any of the rows. That means in this case that you can retrieve this or this card down here. It doesn't have to be the rightmost card at all. The total rightmost card, I mean. It must be the rightmost card of any of the two rows. So in this case, you can retrieve this card or this card. To certain bonuses, we can be given the option of retrieving any card. That means that we can take back this, any card at all. Here we have the option of retrieving two cards. This is the two rightmost cards, so if we start for this, then the rightmost card could be this or this one. So those are the two rules when playing and when retrieving cards. Let's see now the actions of the cards. Let's start for the simplest action. That is the loan card. This is the investor's loan card. Investor loan card has the no money icon at the corners. That means that to play the card is free. We play the card, we don't have to pay for the action. And we will be getting money from the supply, from the bank, according to the higher cost of the slot where the card has been placed. That means that in this space we'll be getting from the supply 17 coins and also a loan marker. The loan marker says that at the end of the game we have to pay 30 coins. That is the loan action. Play the card to the leftmost empty spot of any of the row, get the money, the higher money of that spot, and the marker. That means that at the end of the game we have to pay 30 coins. That is the take a loan action. Let's see now the second easiest action of the game. That is to build a windmill farm. Let's see here what the card says and what steps should be taken in order to build a windmill farm. At the top left corner of the card, there is a dozer with all the players' colors in the back. That means that we must choose a dozer that can be our own dozer, our own color. In that case, we pay for the action to the bank. Or we can choose the dozer of another color, of another player's color. In that case, we pay for the action to the owner of the dozer. Then we place a mill, we place a farm in the building spot that we have selected. That means that we will be moving our energy marker up according to the energy ratio of the zone. That means that zone A gives us 1 energy, zone B gives us 2 energy, and zone C gives us 4 energy. And finally, the gray circle with the mill means that we can play on top of this card one of our build farm tokens. So let's see this card in action. Let's say that we play the card here to the space with zone A, so we choose to take this action in zone A. Then in zone A we have to pick a dozer, we have to select a dozer. In this case we can see that our dozers, all the starting dozers are in a spot, a building spot, that gives us the choice of building a farm or a tower. So in this case we are building a farm. So we pay 8 coins to the bank and we place our mill there, signifying that we have here a farm. That is zone A. Zone A gives us 1 energy, so we move our energy marker 1 space up. And now we have the choice of playing our build farm token in top of the card. We have here a build farm token, a starting build farm token with 1 energy or 3 coins. So in this case we will be choosing 1 energy, we place it in top of the card and we gain another energy. Finally, the last thing that we do is to move our dozer. We can move our dozer inside the same sector or crossing no more than 1 border line. So in this case we will be moving our dozer 1 sector away to a building spot, in this case a tower building spot. That is the build windmill farm action. We have 2 of that cards on our starting deck. Let's see now the build electric tower card. The build electric tower card has the same requirement as the build windmill farm card. That is a dozer. If we select our dozer, we pay to the bank. If we select another player dozer, we pay that player. Then here in the middle of the card we have the action. We place a tower. We select 2 bonuses from the build tower board. And at the bottom of the card we have here an option. The card says that we can pay this action with batteries instead of money. So in zone A, if we choose to not pay in money, we have to pay 1 battery. In zone B, it costs us 2 batteries, and in zone C, it costs us 3 batteries. The payment can be divided between batteries and money. It must be fully paid in money or in batteries. So let's see how the action works. We play the card here to the leftmost empty space of the top row, and we will be taking this action in zone A. In this case, we will be using our own dozer up here. So we decided instead of paying with 6 coins, we will be paying with 1 battery that we place back in the supply. Then we take our lowest tower from our grid and place it on the building spot where the dozer is. Now we go to the build tower board. Here, as we have built a tower in zone A, we can pick up 2 bonuses up to this column. Bonus must be adjacent, not diagonal. That means orthogonally adjacent. We can choose to take tiles or to take printed bonuses. So in this case, just for the example, I will be taking these 2 bonuses here. The rule for paying bonuses is that the first bonus of a type must be placed on top of the matching icon that is here in black and white. So in this case, we place the bonus here and the bonus becomes active. Now, the second tile must be placed the closest possible adjacent to this tile because it's the same kind. If we have a different type, we place it on top of the matching bonus icon. But in this case, as it's the same icon, we must place it as close as possible to the already placed tile. So in this case, we can place it here or here, depending on which bonus we are sure we don't want to get for the rest of the game. Because by this placement, we are deciding to fortify, to mean to double this bonus, but at the expense of cancel one bonus for the rest of the game. Because now, if we take a tile with this icon is covered, there is no room to place it here in our board. And finally, we move the dozer to another building spot. In this case, let's move it down here. That is the build tower action. Now let's see the fulfill contract cards. We have two of those cards in our starting set. So as we can see at the top left corner of the card, the requirement. The requirement is a tower of any player color. That means that in the sector that we are trying to fulfill contracts, there has to be a tower. In this case, in this sector, there is a tower here, and in this sector, there is also a tower. So, in this point of the game, we can fulfill contracts in the rural area, in Zone A, in the west sector, or in the central sector. As you can see, no other sector in the board has towers, so no contracts can be fulfilled on those sectors yet. Now let's take a look at each card. These cards allow us to fulfill contracts of the standard type, that means the town, the factory, the city, and the beach, or we can fulfill isolated location contracts. Isolated location contracts are randomly placed at the setup, and they can have other values than just energy. In this case, this isolated contract is asking for 2 batteries, and the difference of the standard contracts that always ask for energy. There are also isolated location contracts that ask for energy, and therefore energy and batteries. So these cards allow us to take any of the standard contracts or an isolated location contract. The other card is practically the same, except that instead of allowing us to take isolated location contracts, it allows us to fulfill foreign contracts. That means these contracts that are here on the board are connected to Argentina, or at the other side connected to Brazil. These contracts ask for batteries, and there must be a tower in the zone, in the sector, in Zone B, connected to them. So in this case, at this point of the game, nobody can take any of the foreign contract cards because there are no towers in Zone B. So let's use this card to exemplify the fulfilling of a contract. Let's take a look at the locations and the icons that surround them. In this case, we have this icon here. That means that with one single action, that means by playing a contract card, we can, if we have the requisites, if we fulfill the requisites, we can fulfill these 2 contracts with just one action. So let's do that. Okay, we have enough energy, so let's fulfill both contracts with one action. We pay 1 energy and take the contract marker to our board. This is a contract marker of the beach with 1 icon. That means that we move the beach icon marker 1 space up. Now we have to choose where to place it. We must start in one of the 3 number spaces here at the bottom of our grid. So in this case, we will be choosing the central column, the number 2. We place the transformer in the space there that we have paid 1 energy, and then we place our contract marker here where the transformer was. Now, as that one action allows us to fulfill these 2 contracts, we have enough energy, so let's take this other contract marker to our board. The contract marker said that we have to move our town 1 space up because it has 1 icon, and now we have to choose where to place it in our grid. The contract must be directly connected to previous place contracts on the grid. That means that at this point we can place it in this spot, or in this spot. So this spot has no bonus, this spot costs us 1 energy to complete the connection, and this spot has a bonus. So let's place it there. We place the contract there, and this bonus said that we can move any icon in the contract 1 more space. So we move the town 1 space up and place the transformer in the spot to mark that that contract is fulfilled by our company. So let's see now what these other icons mean, these electric poles here. These electric poles means that the player that completes this line, in this case the player that fulfills these contracts by placing here his transformer, will be getting the contract and also will be getting this bonus. This token, this tile, is a build farm bonus token. So if a player now takes this contract, fulfill that contract, he will take this to his hand and he can place it later on in top of a build farm car to gain 1 city movement, 1 income marker city movement. That is this bonus. This bonus also can count at the end of the game for certain scorings. Let's see what other rules apply to the fulfilling of contracts. Let's take a look at our board and let's pretend that we have played another card to fulfill another contract with the 1 energy that we have left. With 1 energy, let's say that we are fulfilling this isolated location contract. As we have seen before, the contracts must be directly connected to another contract. So in this case, our contract marker can be in this spot, or eventually in this spot because it's directly connected. But as we can see here, we have a line that crosses the grid. So to cross this line with a contract, we must have a row free of towers. That means that this tower must be built before we can place any contract on this row. It's not legal to place a contract in a row that has a tower. So in this case, the only legal options for placing this contract are this one or this one. So we don't have an energy because we have already paid for the contract. The only legal spot is there. We move the isolated location 1 spot, place our transformer on the board, and that is it. Let's take a closer look here at the income board, because as you can see, those lines cross all over the board, and that means that our income markers cannot cross this line if we have a tower in this spot. As you can see here, the highest that our income markers can reach is 4 with 1 and 2 grid quality level. With 3 and 4 grid quality levels, our markers can reach up here, with 5 up here, and so on. The pink spots on the income board means that the first time one of our markers reaches a pink spot, we will be getting a bonus card from the display or drawn from the deck. These bonuses make us move the marker that we are covering, the income marker that we are covering. Let's see now how works the fulfill a foreign contract card. That means using this card to sell batteries. So let's assume that we have 3 batteries in our hand and that our markers are around here, something around here, okay? Just for the sake of the explanation, forget about the towers. So we should play our card to zone B. In zone B there must be a tower built there, and now we are about to sell batteries. Just for the sake of the sample, please follow me with this. So we have played our card to zone B, we have paid 10 coins to sell batteries to Argentina through this tower in zone B that is connected to Argentina. We have 3 batteries in our hand, so the only contract that we can fulfill is this one with 3 batteries here. So we return the batteries to the supply and we take back the card. We take the foreign contract card to our power. As we read the card says that it requires 3 batteries and that it will pay us 10 coins plus the income markers of the city and the factory. So in this case, we have sold our 3 batteries for 10 coins plus 1 for the city and 5 for the factory. That is 16 coins for 3 batteries. We must keep this card in our hand because at the end of game we can obtain bonuses to score the icons on the back of the card. So that is the fulfill contract standard or isolated and the fulfill contract standard or foreign country contract. We have here the wildcard. The wildcards allow us to build a farm, but we cannot use a build farm bonus on top of it. Allow us to build an electric tower, but we have to pay in money, we cannot pay with batteries, and allow us to fulfill contracts, but just the standard contracts. We cannot fulfill foreign country contracts or isolated location contracts, only standard ones. This is the wild card. We have one of those in our hand. And finally, we got the Move Dozer card. The Move Dozer card has an extra cost printed on the corners. That means that we have to pay the spot of the where the card is played and also 1 battery. And then we can move 1 dozer crossing 2 border lines, up to 2 border lines, or we can move 2 dozers crossing no more than 1 border line each. And those are the 8 starting cards that every player has on his hand.